Friday, November 11th, Veterans Day edition of the Carolina Weather Video. It is cold out there. This next push of cold air has already settled in across the region. We're beginning our Veterans Day with temperatures well down into the 30s across the region. There was even a little snow flying overnight in parts of the mountains. And as we go through today, a lot of sunshine, but it is going to be a chilly day. This time around, though, a pretty quick temperature turnaround with some modifying temperatures here as we go through the next couple of days. We'll take a look at the the radar rather, across the United States. And a lot of rain up in parts of Maine. Some of that is the moisture from Sean getting pulled ahead of our cold front that slid on through the area. And a lot of cold air behind the front. Look at these white shaded counties. These are frost and freeze products in effect for a lot of the spots that have yet to see a decent freeze yet this season. And there's even some 20s involved into parts of North Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee this morning. So it's a pretty cold start. There's your temperature map, and it's going to be a pretty chilly day overall. But, again, temperatures are going to be rebounding fairly quickly over the next few days. Here's your upper air chart today. Trough is swung on through. As we get through the weekend, though, we're going to see some ridging building, and by Monday, pretty big, not really big, but pretty significant ridge across the southeast. But watch what happens here. A lot of model differences here with how this piece of energy is handled. Let me go back to currently. That's the big upper low off California. By the time we get to Saturday morning, that's where the European has it, and finally by Tuesday, early afternoon, that is what the European has. Compare that to the GFS at the same time frame, and it is much, much slower with that southern piece of energy. And by the way, the Canadian model is pretty much in the same timing camp as the European. So, pretty interesting. It's always interesting to see how these model battles play out as we go forward in time. But I've kind of leaned my forecast again today in the direction of the European model timing. And notice as we get out to next weekend, the weekend of the 19th and the 20th, pretty broad southwest flow over much of the eastern half of the country. That's a pretty mild look. But down the road, let me show you again, the day 8 to 10 average European model on the left, GFS on the right. I still see some indications of this high latitude blocking showing up to some degree on both models, and that should allow some pretty cold air to get into Canada here down the road in November. And then it's just a matter of how the pattern buckles, whether it sends that cold air into the west or into the east. I think eventually it's going to get into the central and eastern U.S., but I still don't really have a good feel on the timing of that. Let's take it day by day. Sunshine today, pretty breezy and certainly chilly though. Low and at most mid-50s for highs across the Piedmont. Sub-freezing lows tonight, even a lot of upper 20s in the traditionally colder locations to start Saturday. But notice by tomorrow afternoon, that high offshore, winds out of the southwest on the backside of that high, and we'll see highs tomorrow returning to the 60s in many spots. Well into the 60s for highs on Sunday, and still it looks like a lot of low 70s on Monday. But again, there's going to be some differences arise thereafter on some of the modeling. This is what the GFS has for Tuesday afternoon. Compare that to the Canadian and the European. And it's a much wetter look on both of those models. The GFS holds it off till a day later. This is Wednesday. And it brings that little piece of energy I showed you a couple of moments ago in on Wednesday. So it's a day difference in the timing between the foreign models and the American modeling. And then we go out to the GFS finally on Thursday, and the European is in some general agreement here with a chilly high pressure trying to nose in from the north by the end of next work week. Finally, Sean, there it goes. It's been hitting Bermuda with tropical storm conditions through the night, and this will pull off to the northeast, becoming a non-tropical system very soon as it pulls to the open North Atlantic waters. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching this Friday edition of the video. Have a great weekend, and God bless.